I will put link into chat to this document. Please put your names in this list, and we can start. Welcome everyone on our weekly or bi-weekly community meeting of developers Cozystack. I will repeat that we have a Telegram group where you can join and ask any questions. We will help you. We also have Slack group, an official Kubernetes Slack. We probably don't have anyone new in this meeting who didn't introduce yourself previously. So I'll switch and talk from agenda. The main topic is new Cozystack release 0.26. Let's take a look what's changed. First, there were big change for Kamaji and for etcd. Previously, there were an issue that our certificates were expiring in 3 months when your clusters were running. We fixed that by updating Kamaji and Kubernetes. The only thing that there is also a few breaking changes introduced. So all of your clusters, tenant Kubernetes clusters, will be automatically updated to the latest version because the previous ones will no longer working with existing Kamaji version. So be aware, if you update your Cozystack, it also will bump all the tenant Kubernetes clusters versions. We also introduced Gold Pinger. That's a tool which allows you to ping nodes to each other and see the response time and latency between the nodes. There is dashboard. What else? Thanks Kingdom for updating Flux CD and Flux CD operator to latest versions. There were some cosmetic change for this info application. Previously, it was added to have the opportunity for downloading kubeconfig file for every particular user. And yeah, we also made a few fixes for kubeviews. Now there is live migration enabled by default. So if you're trying to evict, if you do drain of the node or cardon it, no, drain, it will actually evict all the pods and as well virtual machines. Previously, virtual machines were shooting down and running on another node. Now they will be automatically live migrated from one node to another. And also we introduced snapshot functionality for LinStore. Currently, it is very basic support for snapshots because ZFS has limitations for making snapshots. Currently, those snapshots can be used only for making backups. There is also a small workaround added which will handle these snapshots proper way. I got response from Linbit, by the way, so ZFS snapshots functionality will be improved, I think, about around in two months. But still, this functionality was tested with Velero backup solution, and it is working fine. That's it. That's all the changes for the today's release. If anyone have any questions, we can discuss particular features separately. If not, then we can switch to OpenFlower, and we have two topics to discuss. The first one is application update policy. So by default, Cozystack updates all the applications, all the system applications automatically, but user-defined applications, they still require manual upgrade. For the user, they just show this arrow up that new version is available, and you can click update, select new version and update it later. So there were an idea, should we update all of these user applications automatically as well. Do you have any thoughts on this?
Well, if no one wants to chime in, I did have a thought that a nice compromise would be to backport any critical fixes to the applications and forcefully update the patch version if it is necessary, like in the case of this Kamaja update, where you absolutely must update the Kubernetes version. But I don't think that we should forcefully update the minor and much less the major versions.
Yeah, this makes sense. I will just write it down.
Not the minor, the patch version.
Patch
If it
version.
contains, yeah, if it contains some critical bug fix.
I think we can implement it very quickly. Otherwise, there might be an issue. If we want to support multiple versions, we can't go existing flow when we just scan git tree for downloading older versions for the package. So we need to somehow modify our structure to keep multiple versions safe in our repository, or I'm not sure how we can reach that.
So what happens if someone has an older version and Cozystack gets updated and the older version disappears?
Dashboard will stop working, but you can still update it from the CLI. We can fix our dashboard to handle that. We can even fix our API. But I think actually I like the idea for automatically bumping patch versions. I think that will not break anything. In most cases, it will not even restart the pods. So it will just fix existing issues. According to Samware, we can even bump minor version because it not breaks actually API. Sometimes we breaking our API, so we can consider not doing that in minor versions. And every time when we break API, just bump major version. Or we can agree that we bumping just patch versions and keep minor versions existing until we can support them. So actually, this release introduced new Kubernetes version, and we probably need to remove all the previous Kubernetes versions because they are not supported anymore. So we can put new topic, new settings that we need to remove supported versions and automatically bump them.
Well, I mean, if we can clearly guarantee that nothing will break when bumping minor versions, that would be fine too, I guess.
In this way, we should think about some kind of trigger which will say if we can bump it or if we can't bump it. Maybe we can hold some YAML file in the repository to which version it should be bumped or which versions to which ones should be bumped. But actually, I like the idea of semiware, and we can simply modify it to say if we bump patch version, it should go and automatically update it. Minor versions can be scrapped, I think. And let's start from something. Let's try to do bump patch versions. So we can set up handler which will automatically bump to the latest patch versions. Also, I think we can also consider this kind of applications which are from extra, like CVDFS, ingress controller, etcd. I think they can always be bumped to the latest one because we're actually controlling them. What do you think about it?
I'm really not sure that they have to be bumped. It does sound like there is a lot of work to be done on the dashboard if you say it breaks when some versions get deprecated. That's a bug that sounds like it needs fixing.
Okay, and what about bumping tenant applications? So you can see that even in our cluster, a lot of tenants are not bumped, not created, not automatically updated. So anytime you need to go and bump it manually.
I do think that as we mature, we need to start supporting multiple versions. I think we don't have to support every patch version. Like I said, I think we should certainly bump the patch versions if there's some critical bug fixes. But as we mature, we need to start making the effort to do backports of critical fixes and support several minor versions. I mean, take any cloud provider. When you install a Kubernetes cluster, you can choose like, is it going to be 128, 129, or 130 or whatever? Sure,
Yeah,
at some point, yeah. At some point, you have to deprecate some older versions. You can't support them forever, but I wish should we shouldn't force people to upgrade everything on day zero.
This makes sense. We have this in our roadmap, so we can have two different versions. We have package version, which is stored, actually Helm chart stored in our repository, and application version. Right now it is a little bit confused. So like this Redis, we have package version 050 and Redis version this. I think the Redis version here, it can be controlled by the option in Redis spec. So we can do enum and provide some kind
into specifics. This is getting into specifics. If I'm not mistaken, for instance, if package update bumps the application version by some significant amount, it would also bump the package version. And then there's no problem. Semantic versioning is what do you call it? Then you obey the rules of semantic versioning and everything's fine. Because an update to the major version of Redis is certainly an update to the major version of the package.
Yeah, I think we should provide to choose only minor versions for the components. So if you be talking about Kubernetes, there will be option to choose only 1.16, 1.20, 1.25. And patch versions, they will be controlled by the package version.
Yeah. Well, by the package version, I believe that you should only be able to choose the patch version. The minor version of the package as well. You shouldn't be able to choose between 0.15.1 and 0.15.0.
Should provide a choice. Sorry for my English. For the application. And patch will update it automatically. Another bad case here that those applications, they can be created by infrastructure as a code. And in this case, it might be confuse CD system, which will deliver those applications to the Cozystack. Yes, please.
I was thinking that we should provide only major version selection. So if you select some major version, it also includes some minor and patch version, and patch is getting automatically updated.
Yeah, that's what we spoke before. It depends on how component is versionized. That for example, Kubernetes, there is just one major version. It's version 1. We can provide.
Speaking about Kubernetes, can we actually provide multiple versions? Because we rely on Talos Linux and it does not provide any backwards compatibility or other Kubernetes version.
So I think there should be a selector of types like 1.20, 1.21, and 1.22. The patch version will be delivered automatically when we update package. So a newer version of package will bring new patch versions. In case if we're talking about MariaDB and Postgres, there might be definitely major version selector only because they have MariaDB 14, MariaDB 15, and things like that. So yeah, we don't need to provide the choice of all the options. We just need to provide the choice of the versions between which API is changed. Like in case of Kubernetes, it is minor version. In case of Postgres MariaDB, it is major version. But we don't provide a choice for patch versions because it will be automatically selected from the package. As about infrastructure as a code, I think it might be overcome if you don't specify version of manifest when you actually create it. If field is missing, then we can control it from the dashboard or manually. But if you specify this version, there might be an issue with CD system because it will see the difference. So if we bump the version, it will roll it back to the version which is specified in Git. Not sure about this. Maybe we should not do that in reconcile loop. So once we update Cozystack, we also bump all the components. And if they update it, then we just keep it as is. Never mind if CD system will roll it back to the lower version. So I think this is good compromise. Do you agree? Okay. Marian, finger up, thumb up. Thank you.
Because we need to try this approach and
yeah,
and we will see a best solution on time.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. Now I just collecting the thoughts, and later they will be translated to the issue, and issue will be translated to the pull request of implementation. Okay, anything else I have to add here? So we agreed that we will bump patch versions of the packages automatically. We agree that we need to remove unsupported versions from the repository. and automatically bump them to the supported versions, to the lower probably one or to the latest one. We will choose it later. And every package should provide also choice for the application version. It's usually major plus minor for Kubernetes, major for Postgres and MySQL. And we shouldn't bump it in a loop. Just once Cozystack updated, we will bump all the versions and keep it as is. Thank you. Yeah.
Sorry, one note about the first point, automatically bump patch versions. Maybe we can make a decision. For some packages, we can bump minor version also. And for some packages, just patch version.
I got your question. This is not about application version. This is more about package version. So Helm chart version, it usually does not change anything. They're just small fixes for manifests. In many cases, it will just not even restart the pods. Okay, and the second discussion I would like to discuss is anybody aware of AI tools which might be interested for AI developers? So they're thinking about extending platform with adding more AI things, but we are not very aware of such things. I know there is Kubeflow, the platform for AI engineers, which can run the jobs. Maybe anybody knows some projects, some similar projects or some tools can be used by AI specialists. No AI specialists in our chat. Okay.
Maybe I can remember the Airflow.
Airflow,
which runs ETL stuff, but it's not an AI thing, more like big data processing things and batch processing things.
How did you say?
Airflow, it seems like cron up on.
Yeah, smart cron up, yeah.
Smart cron up, yes. It's not about AI.
But it is common tool for AI, I think, as well. AI written in Python, and Python use Airflow to run those tasks. I think it might be useful to. The only thing I'm not sure that it makes sense to put it in our platform just as is, because it allows you to run user space code with no isolation. In our flow, we separate user workloads and infrastructure workloads. So we need to think if this platform can be used only for these users. So it's difficult to make it multi-tenant.
And one more thought about AI stuff is maybe we can somehow label tenants as containing GPUs or something, depending on the hardware. So for some tasks, you may be able to select running, I don't know, a model on a pool with graphic cards or something.
That depends on which tasks. We are about the GPU support for virtual machines. And I think that should be sufficient to run user workloads on GPU, because the GPU card will be passed through to the virtual machine. Not sure if we can do anything else here.
I was thinking about labeling tenants in some way to show that it has GPU or some hardware capabilities. Maybe just to simplify it to users to select a tenant to run their stuff on.
That works slightly different way, because GPU, it is actually same resource like CPU, like memory in Kubernetes, so it can be controlled Actually, I forgot to show you one of the feature we introduced. We introduced resource quotas for the users. And this is how it works. So you can specify CPU, memory, and the same way you can specify that this tenant can use this amount of NVIDIA GPU. And later the user will be able to choose if they want to run virtual machine with GPU. So it will automatically find those GPUs and assign to the user, to the virtual machine. Not sure about the implementation yet. I think that will be done in future release or maybe 2 releases. So quite soon, maybe 3. Sorry, I'm not sure about that. But it is in progress right now. So no need to specify any specific things to the tenant to use this GPU. I was thinking of creating a specific bundle of Cozystack for AI users. But for now, okay, let's keep it as is. Thank you for participating in this. Yeah, Robert.
Did you thinking about some notebooks to hosting?
Like laptops? Notebooks? You mean Collab?
Collab, yeah, something like that.
Is it free software?
I think that it was able to run as a as a service, yeah, so can be run as a pod.
Jupyter Hub?
Yeah, Jupyter Hub.
That's what my company does.
Interesting.
And it's all open source, yeah.
Yeah, that would make really sense. So we can consider creating.
The question is for what you would like to use it, yeah? And that's if you would like to manage some internal stuff by AI. I don't know whether it's the platform, but for a user to use some AI features, as you mentioned, some nodes has to be labeled or dedicated for the power, and just the whole workload has to be routing over there. And you can also install this Collab to use this dedicated nodes, and that's can be something like for testing, because Jupyter Labs, it's not very, I don't think not very for production, but for testing such some models, upload the model from how it's called, Hugging Face, something like that, for that can be run there.
Deep fakes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, the reason why I'm asking about this, we are looking about making this our platform more interested for AI users. We know about big trends now for AI, and we want to make we want to satisfy their needs actually. So I'm not very familiar with AI things, so that's the reason I'm asking asking the community, asking your thoughts about this, because that makes sense. Then we will do research about everything and how to implement it. We will make decision to do that or not to do that. So that's it.
Yeah, I will go the way to provide the Jupyter Labs as a managed service. Yeah.
How's it called? Jupyter
Notebook or something like that.
This one.
This one, yeah.
I will just put it.
This sounds like something I should volunteer to help with. So I volunteer.
If you're interested in that, that makes sense. I think we should decide actually what to do first. At least we need to do research. Who will use this? Because if we will just bring things and nobody will use it, we just need to collect cases. I think it might be some design proposal or with things as AI user, I want to have the opportunity to run my scripts in such way. And I'm still not sure if we will create a separate bundle or bring those tools to existing PaaS bundle, because the PaaS bundle, it has this separation. So if we're allowing user to run their code right on bare metal, like we do with Postgres, MySQL, they can compromise the system very quickly. We should do this secure, or we can say that, okay, there is AI bundle of Cozystack for AI, and you can use it in single tenant mode. This way it will also working fine. So we just need to do some research or start making some documentation how people will use it. That's
Maybe
the
I will
thing.
go this way, Jupyter Lab, then can get at least the focus for the Cozystack platform.
I think we need to find more people who actually end users and ask them, does anybody have some friend who works with that? I would like to come and ask them directly, or maybe create a common chat for this. Okay.
I have a bunch of friends that are working as DevOps with AI guys. I will try to bring something. I'm not sure about the end users, but DevOps guys, I'll totally ask.
That might be very useful. Thank you. That's it. Does anybody want to discuss anything else? Do you have any questions? In this way, we will switch to bug scrub. And why do we have wrong link here?
Okay, guys, I need to leave. So have a nice evening.
See you. See you.
Bye.
Thank you. You too.
Have a nice evening, guys. Or day.
The external DNS management, we have this already. We probably need to add the documentation.
We could close it, I think. Yes.
We shouldn't close it because we have no documentation.
Oh,
There is a feature, but we don't explain how to use it. Yeah, it should be. DNS. Maybe right now it can use only Cloudflare for managing domains, but still.
Actually, I guess we can use some kind of annotation for this feature.
What kind of notation we can use?
I tested it with the Gateway API based on Envoy Gateway, and inside the HTTP route we can provide some kind of annotation, and for tenant we can. I also use external DNS in my Sandbox with Envoy Gateway API via Cloudflare DNS, and also for some cases I use Cloudflare proxy for my installation, and we can specify if we can use Gateway API in the near future, we can add some external DNS, some specific annotation for the external DNS to the HTTP route. It's some kind of low-level entity object, which we can use on the tenant level.
Yeah, that makes sense. So we can use it for configuring external DNS. So when it create new route, it will go to DNS and it will configure it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it works exactly the same way on my Sandbox.
Yeah, we're using that for it should be working now even for recent REST, but it supports only 2 methods for Cloudflare, or even I think it can use only Cloudflare or use standard method for getting certificates using HTTP probes. Actually, I'm slightly confused about this feature. How far are you with Gateway API implementation anyway? Don't you want to send draft PR?
Yeah. So I had pretty busy weeks, a few public speaking. I guess maybe weeks or something like that.
Yeah, sure. No hurry. I just say that you can start creating draft PR so we can see.
Yeah, deal.
There's something. It's not should not even include the existing working code. Just some templates which we can investigate and give you some suggestions.
Yeah, Sababa.
Okay.
It's in the Hebrew.
Get started. Not able to access dashboard. There is a bug. All right, and we already answered for that. Probably no new issues. Pull requests, no new pull requests. Let's check a few other projects which are related. Cozy proxy, Python readme. Yeah, we will fix it. And Tom. I think I will answer it later by myself. And this as well. Well, okay. Thank you for attending our community meeting. The next one will be in 2 weeks. So in May, which May? March. March, yeah, March. 6th, 13th of March. And the same day there will be a community meeting of Linbit, where we'll make presentation on how we use LinStore on top of Talos Linux. I will provide more links in community chat. Thank you, everyone, and see you in 2 weeks. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Have a nice day.
Bye-bye.
See you. Bye.